This is the book of Acts 2, verse 20. The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of Yahweh come. Shalom, shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakadash, Yahweh being the true name for the Father, Yahweh Shai being the name for his only begotten Son, Lord Igli calls God, and Jesus Christ. I want to give double honor to our apostles, as well as our elders, the great millstone, Natasha's truth and will well, and certitude your hope, truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Billy Awasat. Coach another listen to the spirit power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it's lessons through the spirit. Experienced a few things of over the weekend, a foreshadowing that all hell's gonna break loose very, very soon. Just a lot of like spiritual things happening, pointing towards something big is on the way. And lo and behold, as soon as I get off the plane to get home and exit the airport, the first thing I see on the highway, man, is a blood moon. This was a deep, deep red blood moon here in Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, and this is one of many times that we've seen these sightings that was not forecasted or projected. And I believe this definitely was a blood moon, because I've seen moons that come up on the horizon, and typically they glow orange, but then I've never seen them this deep red before. Okay, so the Lord is showing that judgment is coming, man. And I was literally meditating on this, before getting back, make peace with a lot of people, been on the spirit, just that sentiment. Hey, something's gonna happen very soon. This might be the last. This might be the last time. This might be the last time. This might be the last time that. Just that energy has been pushed out. Just this last moment before something comes, and then I see this, and it just further pushes that sentiment that, hey, there's a lot of death on the way. And I was listening to news and different things going on back in Kansas City from where I was at, and I seen a few posts like pray for the city. I see a few judgment posts of there's been a lot of homicides over the weekend. Okay, and I'll read this precept again. Acts 2:20 says, "The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood, before that great and notable day of Yahweh come." Okay, so for that great and notable day, and what is that day? Okay, it's a day of judgment. Day of judgment from the Heavenly Father. There's going to be a lot of death, a lot of wars, a lot of rumors of wars, and well, yeah, man, just was meditating on it, that the state of the world and things that's coming. There's a lot of the energy that's being pushed out is a lot of doom and gloom. Okay, people are trying to get their last hoorah out, their last this, their last that, but ultimately, what's on the way is heavy, heavy judgment, and this is certainly an omen, a sign of it. This wasn't put out in the news that this was going to be, the moon was going to be this color. And typically, they have astronomers that follow these type of things and report on it and tell you. And this was not reported. But you can see how blood red this moon is, man. And so, like, I know it's a little grainy. I just pulled my phone out real quick and had to take a quick snap. I was catching an Uber home, and this is what I seen. Just real quick. And the guy was like, he was talking about a lot of stuff. So, I just really quick just took a picture of it. And then he said it, the driver said, hey, there's actually been a couple of them. He said there's been a couple of them over the past days, because he goes to the airport and picks up frequently around these times. So, hey, something big on the way, man. Okay. And verse 21 says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh shall be saved. Right? You got to call upon the name of the Lord. The name is important. So right now, you really got to lock in spiritually to learning about Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because we can't, you know, stress this enough. Of something is coming. Something's coming, man. Okay? And it's not going to be pretty for millions and millions of people. This is the book of Revelation 6 and 12. It says, I beheld when he had opened a sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Okay, so blood moons have always been an omen. And, you know, the energy that's being put out is, you know, a lot of earthquakes and judgment. You know, I believe that this region is due. I believe the New Madrid fault is what it's called in the Midwest. You know, it's been way overdue to erupt, which it will make what happened with Venezuela look like child's play. Okay, so it's going to be a great earthquake, and it's going to be a great earthquake from nukes going off. You know, tensions have been at an all-time high between the United States and Iran. You know, things have been building up heavily. You know, it's just like lately for me personally, it's been a lot of being spiritual readiness for judgment to come. You know, I had some pretty heavy dreams that I want to speak on later on. Just have to meditate on that I had too over the weekend. You know, and some of them, you know, push forward that sentiment of judgment was coming, man. You know, I had some very vivid dreams of, you know, speaking with Apostle Tahar, and I couldn't believe, you know, the purpose of having that, you know. But all I gotta say is, man, like something big is coming. Okay, something very very big is coming. You know, listen to your apostles and elders and take heed, because that dream I had, that was the energy that was being pushed out. You know, the time is being shut. It was like a sense of urgency. You know, um, man, and I just kind of woke up. You know, you ever had those visions, those dreams? It was so bad. Like in the dream, I literally like pinched myself and I hit myself. You know, to test if I was dreaming or not. And I didn't wake up. I stayed in the dream, man. And any other time I've had that happen, I've woken up like, yeah, you are dreaming. But I woke up later like, wow, that was a dream. But it felt so real. I actually pinched and hit myself in the dream. I didn't wake up, man. You know, and in the dream, I had met Apostle Tahar, and he was just in the spirit of a sense of urgency, you know, and I don't know, man. It's just wild, man. You know, keep watch, pay attention, lock in. That's all I gotta say, man. You know, so just a quick hit lesson, just giving a share out testimony what I just witnessed. These are always heavy omens, and there's always been great earthquakes and judgment to follow sightings of these. All right, so with that, I'm going to close out and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Double honor to our apostles, elders, great millstone, Tasha's truth and will well, and citation, hope that person's truth and sincerity. Shalom.